very good afternoon to all of you present here, to my dear colleagues and my dear friends, obviously, friends and my students. We are extremely honored that Colonel Dr. Shantonu Roy has accepted our invitation to conduct this motivational session on ADARSH, be the leader everyone follows, for our students. The session will definitely add an important value in the life of our students of media and communication. We pay our humble gratitude to our Vice Chancellor Sir of Amity University Kolkata, Professor Dr. Ashok Srivastava, our Registrar Ma'am, Dr. Amrita Shah, for the unrelentless support. Thanks to the Admin Department for the venue and IT Department for the support. Now, I call upon our student Hiya Mitro of BAJNC to introduce our eminent guest, Colonel Dr. Shantonu Roy. Over to you, Hiya.
With over 35 years of rich experience in mechanical and electrical engineering, quality assurance and education, today's speaker is a retired colonel of the Indian Army who has consistently demonstrated excellence in leadership, strategy and service. Rising through the ranks from second lieutenant to colonel, he commanded 600 to 800 personnel in challenging terrains and critical missions including Operation Pawan, Rakshak, Parakram and Vijay of Kargil, earning multiple service medals for his bravery and dedication. An accomplished academic, he stood first in the university across his M.Tech, B.Tech and M.A. programs and served as a professor and examiner at leading military institutes affiliated with the JNU and Pune University. He implemented quality management and practices in defense workshops and organized large-scale cultural and welfare events. Today, he continues to serve the society as a life skill coach, philanthropist and entrepreneur through UMA Dream Foundation, Shunadili Arts and his YouTube channel Fearless Leaders. Please welcome Dr. and Colonel Shantonu Roy. I would also like to call Dr. Jishnu Pandit Ma'am and Professor Saurabh Kumar Vasu Sir to felicitate Sir.
Good afternoon to you all, and in particular Amity University and Professor Momita for giving me this opportunity. So today I will basically be speaking on leadership. So what does ADARSH mean? Anybody of you? Yes? ADARSH means something that you all want to be, you all want to follow. So everybody wants to be a ADARSH or to be an idol to the others, and for that you have to lead. And if you want to lead, all this I will just cut out because we have already spoken about it. So if you want to lead, you have to be an idol for people, you have to be an example. So today's lecture or little talk that I will give, first I will talk about what are life skills, what is leadership, and what is the difference between a leader and a manager, and then some qualities that you must have, and we will talk about some great leaders whom you all must have heard about and also followed in your life. So what are life skills? Anybody? What does the slide say? That life isn't about finding yourself. It is about creating yourself, and that you have to do by following your dream. Because if you do not follow your dream, you cannot be what you want. And for that, you have to do the impossible. So what does impossible say? It says, I am possible. So if I am possible, then everything is positive and you have to move ahead and be successful. Because even if you do not think negatively, if you think with positivity, every step of failure is a success, and that is how you have to build up upon your life skills. Leadership, motivation, they are the different type of life skills, but then life skills are the qualities that you have, the resources that you have, which you have to bundle up and put it within yourselves. In that you have many life skills, and as you go through the chakra of life or the motions, the stages of life, these are the 4 stages everybody must have studied in your school days. You are first a student, then a householder, then you go and then you start your sannyasa or something like that. I have retired after putting in 35 years, and here I am standing in front of you so that, like one young lady took a little bite from for this video, that what message. So the message that I gave her is that you should be good citizens. So that is what I am trying to create. So my second innings is for your first innings, because now you are on your first innings and I have gone to my second innings. So life skills comprises of all this. To be self-aware, communication is one thing, thinking, stress management, and even accepting criticism is a part of life skill. And some of them which you can sequence life, but this is not the sequence, is basically decision making, interpersonal relations, and above all is your integrity, loyalty, and self-respect. These are 3 life skills which you must imbibe, and then others will follow. So why do you need to have good life skills? So that you become a better person, so that all these habits come into you, including how to speak, how to be self-confident, how to have self-respect, and how to let your ego also go. So these are the skills that you need. That is what is being taught over the period of time throughout your classes. What you are learning here in Amity is what are life skills. And if you imbibe these life skills into you in a nice and proper manner, your quality of life improves. You are a better person. People see you in a different light, in a much better life, and you can shine out. So if you imbibe the correct life skills, you reach the top and you lead from front, and you become a good leader. Sabka ADARSH bante ho, or you become an idol. People will start following you. So leadership is basically setting an example. How do you set an example? By good or bad? By being good. So you have to understand that leadership is an action. It is not that you have been given a gaddi, Raja ban gayo, baith gayo. That is not leadership. People will salute you, people will respect you, but not from the mind, not from their hearts. It will be only on the tongue. So that is not the leader that you want. So leader is someone that you want to follow and follow willingly. Like, do you question God? No. So you must be a leader who is followed willingly because he's setting an example. He's got a vision and he thinks about you who are his subordinates. So that is what a leader is. So leadership can be summed up by this little words of leading people, influencing people. Your thoughts, your actions have to be such that they influence your subordinates so that they follow you. So the word influence, like you have in the cricket field today, you have Virat Kohli, erstwhile you had Sachin, before that. Any cricketer would like to follow because their way of playing was influencing the people. They were making runs. They were setting an example in their own field. There are other people, great leaders are there. Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and so on. The names are endless. So there is a difference between leader, a command, and management. Leader is somebody whom people select without any question. Command is something which is put on you. It is a position. And management is something which gives you the resources, the manpower, and the other wherewithal which is required to do a task. So that is what is management. A manager is not a leader always. And to have these traits, when you have all the qualities of a leader put together, those are the traits that you must have to be a good leader. And the basic responsibility of a leader is that you must make sure that the common goal which you are trying to achieve is being achieved, and while doing that, you must make sure that the welfare of your men, and I will not say the comfort, but while doing the task, their welfare is looked after without compromising their comforts which are required within that mission. Now, if you have a leader, you need followers. Yes or no? Without followers, you cannot have leaders. And if you have a leader and a follower, there has to be communication between them. So if you have communication, if you have a leader and a follower, why is this, or why are these people being put together? They are being put together because there is a goal, there is a situation which they have to conjure up and follow. And here, like I said, the leader should look after their followers and not just look after their superiors. Here I would like to say, 8वीं 9वीं में आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा that चाटुकारिता भी एक कला है. That should not be, and that should be detested. That is not one of the qualities of a leader. So a leader has to look after their subordinates in the proper way, and secondly, communicate in both ways. It should not be a one-way communication. Yes, sometimes a leader has to have one-way communication, but then the communication has to be both ways so that there can be a flow of ideas between both the people, so that the work can be done in a more amicable manner with everybody's solution. Because when you work, this is what? This is just a finger, but this is a fist which has got more power. So if everybody's ideas are taken and you are thinking coolly, you can have a flow of ideas, and the leader also is assisted in taking a right decision because he's taking in ideas from everybody. And once you take in ideas, remember, even the most stupid idea can be the best solution. Because as we go down, we will be speaking on things like creativity and all. Because here in leadership, it is a continuous process and he is influencing so that we all move towards one common goal, the goal of the team or goal of the organization. And this concept is basically coming out of character, and then is the situation and interaction between the situation. There may be changes in situation, and that is where the leader comes into play, because he has to take right decisions and in a correct manner. For that, he has to be a visionary. He has to think with foresight. Because if a problem is there, if you do not think ahead with foresight, which everybody may not be able to think, that is where he thinks ahead and can take apt decisions so that he can change the course of actions, or while they are working there can be changes so that we can move ahead and finally with ideas and his decision-making power and experience take the path that is required, and that is how you become an effective leader. So these are some of the aspects where you are providing direction, developing commitment, we will come to that, and setting example, and team building. Because all the 5 fingers, he has to tie them up into a fist. And that he can only do by gelling with the team and setting up example in front of them. Because obviously, when you are selecting a leader amongst you, whom will you select? The worst or the best chap? The answer is obvious. So as we go down, there are types of leadership which can be taken as autocratic, participative, or you can say delegative or laissez-faire. So, what is the autocratic way? Autocratic way is basically, if I am the leader, I give orders and everybody listens. But then most of you will say, sir, why? You just now said that we must communicate with each other. But then the situation requires such, like in the army, if we have to attack somebody, because remember, here in the army we are motivating people to go on to their death. The level of motivation is very high. It is not like a cricket field. कि ठीक है, कोई नहीं हुआ तो हार गए. Because in the army there are no runners up. Either you win or you lose. There are only 2 players. So there you need to just follow orders blindly. Because if I start becoming a democratic, like in the corporates, take everybody's ideas, neither will you achieve your aim, neither will you finish your task, and neither will you win the war. So that is where autocratic leadership works. But then in the corporate, in other places, autocratic leadership may not be effective. There I may need to take ideas from my subordinates, from my team, my colleagues, because everybody has a certain amount of experience which is important for everybody. And after that, yes, sabke suno, karo apni, because I have more experience than you as a leader. So that is what it should be. Taking everybody's solutions, make out the best, khichdi nahi, best solution. So that is how it has to be. And then you have the laissez-faire or the free rein where you go by the book and whatever things have to happen will happen. That happens in many establishments, in the government offices, you follow the book and it happens. Then you have situational leadership, transactional leadership, where you follow people and change your mind thoughts accordingly. Where you have idols whom you look up to and you play according to that. And like I said, this is the difference between a leader and a manager. A manager sits in his AC room, follows the rules, copy paste करता है और चलता रहता है. But a leader thinks and thinks out of the box, makes you all also think, because he knows what he is thinking is right, because he knows his job. So that is the difference. He inspires a trust and faith in you, which you follow without asking questions. Unlike a manager who just sees a 9-to-5 job, the leader is more involved in his work, involved in his team. This is what I was saying. So, the ultimate leader, how many are Bengalis here? Most of you. Should not take chap naya China. Has to be cool. Like I said, this young girl who asked about finishing, I hope you are not planning. God bless, don't do it. Close your eyes, have a cool head, think everything will be hunky-dory. I just told you the role of a leader. You should be the counselor to people. Right? I won't say military leadership here. This slide is put, this word you can cut out, but then this is one point which I want to highlight. A leader must be robust in his or her thoughts. And above all, principles as we will come down or the facts that are there should be integrous to the organization, to the establishment, to the team that they are working for. Integrity and loyalty have to have the maximum number of points in your thoughts if you have to lead people. A person who's got a demeanor which is doubtable cannot be a leader. Let us not mix political leadership and leadership here. So, in this, again, like I was saying, proficiency, responsibility is all there. Should have the courage to say that yes, this decision which was taken by me as a leader was my decision and I stand by it if I am wrong and try to improve it. But if the team succeeds, then the credit should be for the team. It should not be I. It should be we. So that is what it should be. And if I am wrong, I must try to correct myself because you are learning every day. You are a student in this world on every day that you walk on this earth. You should be familiar with your team. You should know the characteristics of each person that is there in your team. Because that is how you can put the right man for the right job. Because if you put a round peg in a square hole, will it fit? Somebody who is good in study, उसको मैं भेज दूँ football खेलने के लिए, खेल पाएगा? No. So if you know the talents, the strengths, the weaknesses of your team, and do a SWOT analysis or whatever. You don't need to do it on paper, you can do it in your mind. You can put the correct person at the correct place and move ahead. A leadership, competency everybody knows is an English word saying that what all are your strengths are your competencies. You have to play on them. And when you are playing on them, जरूर होना चाहिए आप अपने काम में, passion has to be there. You must be passionate for what you are doing. For that, you have to yourself read and be proficient in your work. That is how you can show your involvement, and that is how you can expect your team to be involved with you. Then, if you are a good leader, सड़ा सा मुंह मत बना के घूमिए, बट ऐसा भी मुंह मत बना के घूमिए. Be humorous to your team so that they are at rest, because a mind at rest can think well, can give you better results. So, add humor in your day-to-day life and you will see automatically there will be professionalism, because to be light-hearted and to be professional can go together. People do say that do not be light-hearted in your profession, but then yes, you have to think with a light mind. And above all, the courage, not just the courage to do daredevil things, but the courage to say no, the courage to stand up to wrong things. That is what I am talking about, the moral courage. You must be able to say no. हर चीज में हाँ बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है. If something is wrong, just stand up and say no, sir, it cannot be done. You do not have the authority because my team is going into loss. That is how. This is what Osho has said. Is it visible to you? You cannot be truthful if you are not courageous. You cannot be loving if you are not courageous. You cannot be trusting if you are not courageous. You cannot inquire into reality if you are not courageous. Hence, after integrity and loyalty, your moral courage comes into play. So for everything, you need to be courageous. And like I said, though integrity and trust are coming in towards the end, you have to be reliable. People should have faith in you. कि अगर XYZ को काम दिया है, वो काम होगा. So that is how it is. And integrity is nothing but a set of values that you imbibe from your childhood. And remember one more thing, leaders are not always born. They can be groomed also. Here at Amity or at Indian Military Academy or wherever. And leaders do not only mean military leaders. You can be corporate leaders, you can be leader in your own life, in your own style, in your own society also. So you have to develop those set of qualities so that people can trust you. If you are loyal, if you are honest, people will trust you in all ways. And finally, जोश होना चाहिए. कोई मरियम के पीछे तो नहीं लीडर बनेगा. फॉलो करोगे? Yes, madam. No. So you have to have energy. 30 plus खाके नहीं, but बिना इसके. And that will only come if you have that passion for doing the work. If you have the interest, if you have interest in your team, if you have involvement to complete a task. And if you do these things, you will surely forge ahead in your life. And then getting all these things together, if my team or people, like I said, is not together, then there is no use, because my team is my strength. Each person in that team is going to lead me to victory. So your team making qualities have to be there. And how do you build up your team? By getting involved, by praising each chap, by motivating them, by small little things like a pat on the back, or even giving small rewards. और मोटिवेशन सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि जोश टॉक देता रहूं मैं, एंड मौमिता मैडम ने बुला लिया तो लेक्चर सुनते रहो. It is also when you are successful in a work, have a jam session. मोराल बढ़ता है नहीं बढ़ता? पक्का सबका उसी में मोराल बढ़ता है. मैम ने अगर काम करने को बोला मोराल नहीं बढ़ेगा. But yes, all work and no play also makes Jack a dull boy. So we need not be a dull boy or a girl here. It is not only Jack. We have the young ladies also. So you have to join everybody into one. You have to give them that feel-good factor. सबको अच्छा लगना चाहिए. If somebody is talking, you have to get involved in what the person is talking. You have to understand them, recognize their things, and also move ahead. And if you are a leader, remember, it should not be one way. If you are also talking, I also should be listening. Because that is what is flow of thoughts. That is what is correct communication. And building your team. You can move ahead. Like I said, if you have a fist, you can box hard and that will hurt the other person. So that is what you want, to win with a blow. Right? And when everything is there, you have to set your priorities right. And setting your priorities will only make your work easier, because सब काम तो एक साथ आप कर नहीं सकते हैं. You have to do each work step by step. Prioritize it so that you can do things fully, and if you are creative. Nowadays we have a terminology called think out of the dabba or think out of the box. So like I said, even the smallest or the stupidest idea is the best idea at times. So we have to be creative, and for that you can have channels of communication open, brainstorming, write, listen, read. That is how you can get ideas for creativity. And then not only the leader has to think, everybody, so that the leader should imbibe qualities in the team, so that everybody is a visionary. And when you think with foresight, everywhere, why do you have 5-year plans, 10-year plans? That is for a long term, because anything which is being done on a long term basis sustains and stays ahead. And then, like I said, putting everything together, these are the qualities that I was mentioning for being a good leader. And remember, none of these qualities are difficult to imbibe if you all try. Everything is achievable. Teamwork, yes, because it enables you to cooperate and communicate with each other. And it is necessary because it is for the good of everybody, because you can achieve your aim and goal. Some of the benefits of the teamwork, it gives you quick solution and you increase your productivity. और कभी कभी होता है कि हम एक दूसरे से कम्युनिकेट ना करें, सोचे कि बात तो हो गया है, आंखों में इशारा हो गया, बट इशारा हुआ ही नहीं था सब. So you have to communicate, you have to pick up and go and talk. Suppose you like somebody, go up and talk. आंखों से इशारों से नहीं होता है. So you have to have those communication skills. नहीं तो वो जैसे फादर एंड सन में कम्युनिकेशन गैप, जनरेशन गैप चलता रहता है, वही चलेगा. So that is why communication is a must, and you must have proper skills of expressing yourself, and that is how you can also make the other person understand both ways. You subordinate to your leader and to the leader to the subordinate. And one more thing, remember in life, interpersonal relations is a must. We must have a bonhomie lifestyle, so that you can be amicable to everybody, likable by everybody, so that you can follow and also lead both ways. So this is what it is, everything in today's world. If you know somebody, you can just pick up the phone, walk up to the person and ask for anything. And setting your priorities and time management. Time management is very important, starting from your exam to doing any work on this earth. If your time management goes very, you will never be reaching the correct place at the correct time. So this is very, very important, and that is why we need to juggle our time. And to be successful, you have to be at the right place at the right time, because you cannot be there everywhere at every moment. So you have to set your time in such a way by planning and prioritizing things, so that you can get the correct results. Because time, remember, every day has 24 hours, that is fixed for you. That is not going to change, that's a constant. And another important life skill for leaders and for everybody is decision making. Why is decision making important? Because if your team doesn't get a decision from you, they are just standing. They have to be told yes or no. Or if it is yes, your team stands by it. And if even I take a decision and it is wrong, the leader should be bold enough to stand up and say, yes, I was wrong, no problem, we'll amend and change. So that is what, even if you take a wrong decision, but please take a decision. Because if you don't take a decision, you are leaving your men, your people, your team in a lurch, which is of no use, because then you are not a leader. Then you are just standing because of your position. Motivate your people, like I said, even the smallest word of praise is motivation enough for your team. Every pat on the back makes a difference, but if somebody does a mistake, please do not feel scared to reprimand that person. Because if you don't reprimand at the correct time, you are spoiling the teamwork. Some of the natures of motivation: intrinsic, extrinsic. Again, basically you can motivate by giving rewards, by the persons following the goals. So these are some of the life skills that you have to imbibe, and I am sure none of them are difficult to imbibe. So you have to think positively and lead well. So I won't be boring you any more longer. because all these things, everybody in you has these things. All these qualities, I'm sure, everybody has it on a scale of 0 to 10 in each of you. But you have to, जो भी skill कम है, उसको 0 से up करो. So that all your skills are at 10 and you can be a good leader, because today you are young. Tomorrow you all are going to be the future citizens of our country. And hope that I see you, some of you in my old age, याद है यहाँ से एक बार lecture दिया था.